All right, everybody, Scott Pierce, and we're going to be doing Facebook ads and how to 2 to 3x your lead follow up and engagement. So if you're with me, John, oh, good. John says it is sunny in Sarasota. You know, my dad lives there. And he sent a picture the other day to the family chat of uh, frost on the ground. That was kind of shocking. I was like, are you kidding me? That was absolutely nuts. So, John, it's sunny. Yeah, I'm in Northern California. It's gorgeous out here today. So, oh, Evan, you're in Tampa. Oh, right on. Awesome. Good stuff. I love Tampa. I love Sarasota. I love that whole area. We actually lived in Sarasota for 2010 to 2012, maybe. My mother lived there. My sister does live there. My dad lives there. So we got quite a bit of family in that area. First of all, I dropped the link to listing leads into the chat. So go ahead and do this with me. If you are a client, log into your account. We can actually pop this together. Let me know if the screen is clear. I've had a few people recently tell me that the it was a little bit blurry for them, and I apologize for that. All of my connections are good, and so it shouldn't be blurry. If it is, someone said to refresh, maybe refresh your browser or whatever you're watching me in. Maybe try to refresh that if it's not completely clear. Let's see how it looks. And then secondly, I drop in a link, which I will put in later, but I like to put it in now, is a post-webinar survey. If you're not getting something from this, then we need to do better. So I want to make sure that you are all getting what you need from this, because these are working webinars. I'm not sitting here, oh, I love it. If you're not a client, I want to sell you. I want you to sign up, and I hope you're impressed with what we're going to show you. But for our clients, I want you to be doing this with me. And if you're watching this on a recording, phenomenal. You can pause and you can fast forward as needed and get through everything that you need. So this is about Facebook ads. It's about how to increase engagement, how to do better with your follow-up. So tell me what kind of ads you want to run. What kind of ads are you running? I've got a series, a couple of ads that we're going to take a quick look at, because follow-up starts before the ad is even live. Okay. Follow-up starts before the ad is live. Now, what do I mean by that? So I really mean a number of things, 3 things in particular. And Tamara, beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much. New construction. We'll talk about that. In fact, that is amazing, because we've specifically got some stuff for new construction that you'll love. Now, we have a whole webinar on new construction only. In fact, you know what? I will put it right into the chat. So these are all of our recorded webinars. Go to our YouTube channel, including this one. But we also put them on our blog about half a day to a day later. And I think you're going to see cash offer, new construction right there, transforming new construction into a profitable lead source. So if you click on that, you'll see the recording, a little bit of information, some good stuff right there. So go ahead and take a look at that a little bit later. But I will talk about new construction ads during this call. So let's take a couple of looks. So when I say there are 3 things, one are the questions that are being asked in the ad. So if I scroll down, I'm going to find this ad. And here we go. So this is for just listed in Rockland. So check this out. People click the ad, and name, email, and phone number are going to be on the next screen. But check this out. Would you like to be notified when similar listings hit the market? Yes. What is your time frame to buy? Yeah, 3 to 6 months, whatever. Do you have a home to sell? Yes. Continue. Name, email, phone number. All right. So when she clicks, or when this ad is clicked through, they're going to land on the single property website. You are going to get the lead notification, and you're going to know my name, my email, my phone number. Average system-wide is about 85% accurate for all of that, which is phenomenal. So that's, almost 9 times out of 10, you'll have all the right information. Now, the questions being asked, that's first for follow-up, because now I know in this case, and we've got over 20 questions for buyer ads and another 20 questions for seller ads. So now I know, in fact, what were those questions? Okay. Now I know this lead would like to be notified when similar listings hit the market. So I'm going to be setting them up in an IDX search off my website. I know the time frame to buy, and in this case, I know they have a home to sell. System wide, I've been kind of looking at different ads and stuff, and I see anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40% of people saying yes to having a home to sell. Now, in my follow up for someone that says yes to that is I might follow up with them related to the home that they have to sell and offer an equity update, offer a home value, offer some PDF guides that we've got in listings to leads that relate to homeowners and home sellers. Does that make sense? Let's go ahead and take a look at another ad. So here's another ad, and this is a video ad. You can do video ads. This is actually a more of a lender ad, but it's fine. You can still completely get the point that we're doing here. So here's the ad, run through listings to leads, and people click, and the questions are, what is your time frame to buy? How would you describe your credit score? And what's the absolute maximum monthly payment you're able to make? Hit continue, name, email, phone number. And in this case, because this was a down payment assistance landing page, they'll be taken to the landing page. Great question on the video. I'll mention that here in a little bit as well. All right, here's a pending listing. So if you got any listings in contract as the listing agent, so you're representing the homeowner, or even as the selling agent where you represent the buyer, get those listings into listings to leads. And for just sold, we've got just sold as listing agent, and we have just sold as selling agent. So if you are representing the buyer, add that listing to listings to leads, mark it as just sold selling agent, and then we flip all the language around to reflect the fact that you represented the buyer and not the seller. But regardless, so here we go. I'm going to click show ad. And the ad will pop up. And we're going to scroll down. All the chat GPT images from all the agents are flooding the internet. So here's a pending listing. So check this out. I click it. What is your time frame to sell? And this is awesome. So these top two are default. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? Maybe. See how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. Yes, yes, and customize, not right now. If they say yes, well, you got the 100 point home marketing plan that you can send to them, all right, via, you got the link, and I'll show you where that is if needed. But if they say, please customize for my home, now what I'm going to do is on my follow-up, I'm going to get their home address, the property address, and I will add that to my listings to leads account as status listing presentation so that I can deliver to them either via email, text message, or I can print it up and drop it off to them. And it features their home on the cover, their name and address are on the cover, and their home is on every single page throughout. And so there you can see that's their home address. Might be a little blurry in the camera, right? That's their home. And they can even scan the QR code and bring up the single property website. They can send a text code. They can see your client reviews. Absolutely amazing. Well, Waverly, I have no idea. I never saw the ad. And a lot of it is, are you really spending enough budget? Okay. We want to make sure, Facebook ads, it's two things. One is the right questions that we're going to ask. Two is your standard follow-up. Okay. Because especially with Facebook ads, it's always going to be part of the follow-up. And then third, which I highly recommend, is having the AI text follow-up as part of it as well. All right. So buyer leads typically are going to come in for a listing three to $6. I think system wide the average is $4. For seller leads, you're going to be looking at anywhere from 10 to $20. So for seller leads, it's going to be a lot more expensive. But for a lot of people, what they do is they'll run an ad for $50, generate 5 leads, and make 5 leads. That's a very, very small amount. So we want to make sure you got to be spending at least $10 a day minimum. All right. Now, $10 a day for buyer leads is what is suggested anywhere you look around the internet. And for seller leads, that's probably should be more about $20 a day. Okay. So, we want to be generating, at least 2 to 3 leads a day, hopefully. All right. With our ads. And then if you're doing that, you're going to start getting some people responding back to you. All right. It's usually a case where you're just not generating enough leads. We're renters. Yeah, I don't know. That's real. I don't even know what the ad was for. Yeah, I don't even know what the ad was for. And you can always post it in the mastermind group, right? Just take a screenshot of the ad, post it in the mastermind group. Let us know what the questions were. But yeah, there's something weird there to have renters clicking on a seller ad. All right, we got a PDF guide. In fact, this one's been doing really well for a few different clients on both Google and Facebook. Just had a client reach out to me the other day and was doing really well. And the problem was, and I'll just let you know right now, you cannot ask for a property address in a Facebook ad. It goes against the, what do you call that? The big thing that fair housing. So you are not allowed to ask for the property address in a Facebook ad. So I had a client just ask me that this morning. But here, let me click on show ad. And I'll scroll down. And we're going to find, there we go. So again, click on the ad. And you can see the questions right here. See how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home? Yes. Now check this out. Get your home's value and instant cash offer options. Let me know. And what is your time frame to sell? Right? So again, what is my follow-up going to be? Whatever they say yes to, I'm going to address that in my follow-up. So in this case, I'm going to mention about, thank you for requesting my 100-point home marketing plan. I would love to be able to get that to you. Just let me know your property address. And as far as the cash offer, we can submit that as well and get you some cash offer options to take a look at. And I see that your home selling time frame is 6 to 12 months. So this is going to be a lot easier to follow up if we make sure that we address what they said yes to in our follow-up. And for things like this, I see about 20% will say yes to the cash offer. Most will never take it. And maybe like 20 to 25% say yes to this. And so anytime somebody says yes, that really, really, really helps us with our follow-up. Now, notice I've got 3 questions for all of my ads. That is the maximum. And that's what I would do. I've seen I've played around with it from no questions to 1 question to 2 questions to 3 questions. I've never gone to 4. All right, maybe I should try it, but I think 4 will be the drop off. But I've seen really no discernible increase in the cost per lead. But what I do get is 3 data points above and beyond name, email, and phone number that will help inform, help shape my follow-up so that because when they say yes to something, so if they say yes to this, or they say yes to this, they are much more likely to respond to me because now they want something from me. They want a cash offer. They want a 100-point home marketing plan. So it's not guaranteed. All right. And of course, and follow-up doesn't mean you called once, they didn't call you back, and you give up. All right. Follow-up for any kind of lead is an ongoing thing. All right. That's why we want to make sure that we stay consistent with this, because it is in the consistency. Some people are going to respond quicker. Some people are going to respond later, right? They may have clicked on an ad halfway during the night, and they're busy for a few weeks, or they go on vacation. They're not in the mood, and you're gonna have to just catch them the next time they're in the mood to talk to you. And again, that's where the AI text follow up really helps. That's where we've got email. We got the AI text in listings to leads. We got email follow up in listings to leads. You can send the leads to your CRM for follow up. So in listings to leads, if you go to your profile, there's a tab called CRM integration. And there you can connect your CRM to make sure that no lead gets left behind. Okay. How long should you run the ad for? I'll get to that. It's 1 week minimum, but I'll get to that a little bit later. And we'll discuss that in more detail. Okay. So I just showed you some Facebook lead ads. Now you can do so much in listings to leads. You can video views, you can do traffic, you can retarget, you can use custom audiences, you can use all of that stuff. So what I'll show you first here is for the CRM, since Tamara, go to profile. So down here on the bottom left, kind of towards the bottom left, profile, CRM integration, and you will see all of them right here. Now, I don't know if there's a CRM that we don't integrate with. I will mention if your CRM is not here, it will most likely have what is called a lead forwarding email address. I'll pop that right into the chat so you can see it. There's no T at the end of it. I don't know where the T came from. I didn't add that, but it's called a lead forwarding email address. It is not the email you log into your CRM with. It is a crazy looking, bizarre email address. And it's meant, what happens is when you put it here and save it, it will take the lead notification from listings to leads. There's some magic that happens on the back end, and it will automatically pop that right into your CRM. Everything is going to be where it needs to be. And then you can trip off the follow-ups from there. All right. Now you can see we got Bold Trail, Boomtown, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, Moxie, Realty Juggler, Real Geek, Sierra, Top Producer, Wise Agent. And then if your CRM is not listed, now they're going to 99 out of 100, they're going to have the lead forwarding email. So don't worry if your CRM is not listed. Just go to your CRM support, ask them, where do I find the lead forwarding email address? And then pop that in there and hit save. The other two options, API Nation. All right. Some of you use this with your companies. So we got a lot of different things here. And Zapier. If you're using Go High Level, that is Lead Connector. It's the very top one. Add, update, contacts, and Lead Connector. That is Go High Level. So if you're using Go High Level, you'll want to use this workflow via Zapier to connect to Go High Level. All right. So with that, let's look at a couple of listings. And this is for your listing or borrowed. All right. Yep. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'd be kind of curious to know what kind of ad got a bunch of renters, because I run a number of ads for different people and I've never really had that kind of a problem. But I just ran a just sold ad, $50 for 1 week, got 2 seller leads each. For just sold. And so here's the deal. I absolutely love pending and just sold ads for seller leads, because those are actionable things. Those are things that are happening in the market, right? You can do cash offer, totally, and people have success with it. You could do home value. Again, people have success with that as well. But even in the home value, I would preface it as almost like a pending or just sold ad. So Joycelyn, for just sold, the average is about $10 to $12. So if you're coming in at $7.13, that's phenomenal. All right. Yeah. And so let me tell you something. And I got a video. I should have brought it up. I'll bring it up here while we're talking. In fact, I'm going to bring it up right now. It is a video, and I talk about, in fact, you know what? I'm just going to put this right here. So on our YouTube channel, there are 2 videos. One was from 3 weeks ago, Facebook ad rescue. We went from, I think it was a client, and she was generating leads at $18 a lead, and I fixed it. She went right down to $3. And then this one here, stop your winning Facebook ads from ending. So what I would recommend, I'm going to drop this into the chat. And if somebody wants to remind me later to drop it into the mastermind group, I would. But you do not want that ad to end if it's performing really well for you. And so you can extend the ad like a day before the ad is going to end, or 2 days before, or whatever. You can go in, and I'll show this, and extend the ad by adding more budget and extending the ending date a week, or you can even do 2 weeks if you really want to. I do that all the time. And so I've got ads that are running that are doing really well for people. And I'll just go in instead of letting it end. If I'm coming in at like $3 a lead for an ad, whereas the average might be 5 or 6, I don't want it to end, because if it restarts, it might go to a new audience, right? The algorithm is always kind of weird. And similarly with the Facebook ad rescue, if an ad is performing bad, so in the case of the video, I think the first lead came in at like $18. And I would have ended it really after spending $10, because if you spend $10 on a buyer ad and you don't have any leads, just end it and then just redo the ad. 7 times out of 10, if you literally just redo the ad without changing anything, you'll be fine, because sometimes the algorithm is just nuts. All right. Sometimes the algorithm gets glitchy. The wrong people start clicking on it. And the next thing you know, that ad is being shown to like knuckleheads, and you're getting all these bad leads, or you're not getting any leads at all because people just aren't clicking on it. All right. So let's go do we're going to do like 5 or 6 ads here today, and a new construction will be one. If anybody else wants to see something in particular, let me know. Go ahead and put it in. So one responded, have a problem. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Well, so yeah, and Joycelyn, right? What is it? You are in front of them. Now, Joycelyn, one of the best ways for seller lead follow-up, because you're in our expired stuff, is making sure we get the online version to them, right? Even though they're not thinking about selling for 6 to 12 months, you want them to know you got this 100 plus point home marketing plan. And so you want to make sure that they've got that. You don't need to add them to your account specifically right now if they're that far out, but I would for sure tell them about the fact that I've got this. Send them the link to the one that I'll show you a little bit later, so they can get excited. All right. And in fact, I just had a client this morning from a luxury real estate office sign up. And she said, because she was talking to Vince, and she said that she goes, somebody in her office told her to sign up for Listings to Leads because their listing presentation is so good compared to what they get. And she's in a luxury real estate office in a nice destination area. Yeah. Well, in fact, I just put a post in the mastermind group this morning, Joycelyn, to that effect. And this is for everybody. Our follow-ups, and you can take our follow-up emails and drop them right into your CRM. But in the mastermind group this morning, I posted right here, 2 hours ago, real estate email database marketing for realtors, how to engage leads with 80 plus ready to use PDF guide emails. All right. This will take you to a mastermind post, or I'm sorry, a blog post. And I'll show you this today as well, because we get really good feedback from people about these emails. So all those PDF guides and listings to leads, I would make sure I'm sending out a buyer one and a seller one, at least, either send both out every week or just alternate the weeks. And with 80 of them, even if I do one buyer, one seller a week, that's 40 weeks. That's what? That's like 10 months, 9 months. 9 times 4 is 36. So I guess that's, 4 times 10 is 40. So that's 10 months. If I were to start today, it would end in December or November, I guess, and restart in December. No one on December 4th is going to remember what they got on February 4th. right? No one. You're going to have new leads. A lot of those leads, or some of those leads will tap out regardless. Nobody that got a particular email today and they get the same guide on December 4th, they will never remember it. Never. All right. And those emails, they deliver a PDF guide. They literally click the email, it downloads the guide. You get notified that I downloaded the guide on downsizing, how to downsize, or whatever the name of that guide is. You get notified right away, and you are now delivering value versus just whatever it is that you might be doing right now. All right. So let's get back to the ads. So I'm going to click on a open house. So the first ad will be for any kind of listing that's for sale and yours or borrowed. And I should also do, I also like to do a ad for custom IDX. So someone's got an IDX website, go ahead and drop it in, and I will show you how to run like a custom list of homes for sale going to an IDX. You can do that with listings to leads as well. So I clicked on the green market listing button. I click on Facebook and Instagram ads. All right, we pull Facebook into listings to leads. I got location, autofill the radius. I got a lifetime budget. 35 is just the minimum. All right, again, I like to do $10 a day minimum for buyer leads. So $70. I can start end date, right? Change that. I can change the template, and I can change the images. I like the one with the home on top. If I want to change the text or the color or the images in the template, I can do that. All right, there's a little edit icon that I can click. Now I can change all the images. I can change the color of the template. I can change the text in the template. So all of that's editable. And this is where, so somebody asked about a video. The video that you saw earlier, that was essentially just a TikTok video, but at the end of the video, it said, click the learn more button for more information or whatever it was. Okay. And you just click here, change image video. And here I can upload a custom image from Canva, from my website, I can upload a video, right? So I can click here and upload whatever I want to use. And then that video will play just like we saw a little bit earlier. Now here's the kicker. This is so important. So please pay attention. I'll be showing this 3 or 4 times during this call, but it's so easy. Click advanced options. All right. So click advanced options. And then a green button is going to show up, create new form. And then you see here form questions. And this is where all of those questions are at. So we got name, email, phone number. All right. Right there, you see in the contact, name, email, phone number. And that's what most people do. And they're whatever. But look at all these questions we've got. We got a ton. We got a ton of questions. So by default, we've got, what is your time frame to buy? All right. So that one's turned on by default. We've got, would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? All right. That's turned on by default. A couple of other really great ones could be, they're all here for a reason. Are you buying a home when your home sells? Right. Desired price range, desired move-in dates. Have you been pre-approved? See if you qualify for 0 down. That could be a great question if the home is maybe in a kind of a mid to lower price point. All right. So if you're dealing, maybe you get a lender to pay for the half the budget, and you send them anybody that says yes to that. Would you like to be notified first when similar listings hit the market? That could be a great one. We've got another one. I mean, they all could be good. So you should go through this and just take a quick look at them. But there's one for price reduced homes for sale, which I'm blanking on. For Tamara, for new construction, would you like me to send you current builder incentives or specials? So if that was new construction, that would be phenomenal. Or if I was running a new construction ad. And again, there's one for, would you like me to send you, there we go. Would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? That's another great one. Because again, anytime somebody says yes to whichever questions I turn on for that ad, that gives me something to hang my hat on when I follow up. Because if I got this turned on and they say yes, now in my follow up, I'm going to say something to the effect of, hey, I saw that you would like to get a list of price reduced homes for sale. And I just want to find out what area that you're looking for and what your price, and if there's anything about a home that you're particularly wanting, like a pool, school district, right? Things like that, to better help me get a good list of homes for sale to you. Now you can see I've got 4. What is your time frame to buy? Would you like the ultimate guide? Do you have a home to sell? Now, a little tip that I've noticed, do you have a home to sell can work well in the mid to upper range, right? Where people might be a second or third time home buyer. If the price is in a lower price range for your market, and it's more of like a first time home buyer kind of a thing, then that question may not be as good, because you're going to get just pretty much everybody saying no because they're first time home buyers. All right. Maybe they're renting or something. So, you're going to have to kind of look at, this is where every home can be a little bit different. And so these questions, what might work for me and my listing where I'm at, may not be as good for you. And then the last thing is here, I can reorder. And my tip on reordering is, you want to put at the top the thing they're most likely to say yes to. Because once they say yes to one thing, they are more likely to say yes to something else. And kind of vice versa, right? If they're going to say no, then the next thing they're more likely to say no to. So I want, in this case here, I'm offering, would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? And they'll say yes. What's your time frame to buy? They give me the time frame. And then here I've got, would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? I may use that or I may not, but regardless, I've got it turned on. Once you're good and you got the right order, just hit create form and close advanced options. So just close it and create your ad. Boom. That easy. John gives me 3 websites, or 2 websites, I guess. All right. Oh, it's all the same website. You're just giving me different domains on it. That's kind of funny. All right. So now we got the ad. The ad will be live anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes on average. Usually it's pretty quick. If you do not have the AI text follow-up turned on, or you don't have it with your CRM, highly, highly, highly recommend that you get it turned on with Listings to Leads. You will click subscribe, and you'll just go with 50 leads to start with. Click next. And when you do it, because I've done this a number of times before, when you do it, I think you enter your credit card, and then you're going to select the AI text bot's name. And there's like 15 names. They're all unisex names, because our vendor behind this actually has real people. And so if they ever see a conversation going sideways, they'll actually call up. And so it could be a man or a woman calling the person up. They only do that, again, if something gets really weird with the AI text. And half the time it gets really weird because the people start, whatever. Every time I get a lead, once that's turned on, as soon as the lead is generated, the first thing I'm going to get is the email. And the email is going to have name, email, phone number, and the questions in the lead form that I selected, and the answers to them. So now my follow-up is so much stronger. I'll get a second email letting me know that the AI text initiated contact. And it's going to let me know one of 3 things. Yes, they were able to send a text message because it was a good cell phone number. Or 2, they were not able to because it was a landline, which I like knowing. I like to know if it's a landline. And then three, uh, it was just a bad phone number. It's not even a phone number. So I'll know right away if the phone number is good or not without even having to call them. And again, it's like 80 to 85% are good phone numbers. In the accounts that I do, it's like 90 to 95%. All right. And I know there are some areas where it might be a little bit less, but on average, all right, unless you're just in such a crazy place, you'll see around like probably 85% good phone numbers and good emails too. All right. Every so often, you might have an ad running that's a little bit less, but that's why they're called averages. All right. So anytime you got a current ad for whatever reason not performing well, just stop it and just redo it. All right. And I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. All right. Let's go back to listings. Let's do one for a sold, and then we'll do new construction. I'll do a PDF guide. And by that time, you should be able to see how all of this works. So any kind of ad that you want to do, you're going to be a lot more comfortable and you're going to get a lot more out of it. All right. So again, pending or sold as either the listing or selling agent. So if you got any listing in contract, all right, like what Joycelyn, all right, and it sounds like she already connected with somebody. She's got another lead. All right. So that's all. That's only for $50. Are you kidding me? I mean, for $50, and you got other leads as well that you'll be following up with. All right. And in your follow up, make sure to use the PDF guide emails in addition to whatever else that it is that you're doing. Make sure you use the emails from listings to leads that we drop every week or two, right? That contain the link to the 100-point home marketing plan, because the sooner sellers and homeowners in our area see either the digital or the printed version of this, the quicker we're going to get them as a client. All right. John says, Evan, that's more of a question for your broker, I think. We can still market just sold if we're not the listing or the buyer's agents, right? I mean, that's not really a question for me. That's more, I mean, technically you can, but that's going to be more of a question for your broker or MLS, I think. Yeah. So yeah, that's not really something I can really answer. And yes, and I saved the post you just did in the mastermind. Perfect. All right, awesome. So here we go. I got a sold listing. Market listing, just like before. Facebook and Instagram ads, just like before. And because it's a listing, we got the city and state, so it's going to populate city and state for location. But I'll tell you a workaround on that, Evan. I'll tell you a workaround. So location, lifetime budget 50. So again, I'm going to change that to 140. And I mean, you could do 100 for a week. Start and end date will be 1 week. Again, I can change template. I can do a video. Now, on the seller ads, we retarget by default. All right. So retargeting means if you've got retargeting set in listings to leads on the ads page, you'll see a little thing about retargeting. And if you click activate, then it will do this. I can upload a custom audience and market to that custom audience. So easy, easy, easy. This could be a video. Again, this could be a video views ad. This could be a traffic ad. So we got all of that stuff. But just like before, I want to make sure those 3 questions are dialed in. So check this out. Advanced options, create new form, just like before. Inform questions right there. Questions. I want to have 3 good questions, because the 3 questions, in addition to name, email, and phone number, are going to help me make sure I've got some follow-up. I'm more likely to have follow-up that will be like 2 to 3x engagement. So I'm going to turn off what's your time frame to sell, because would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? I like that one, and it has a time frame in there. So if they say yes to that, and again, I see like 20% of people saying yes to that. It's awesome. See how my 100-point home. See how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. Yes, right. And I showed you that a little bit earlier. See how AI can help you sell your home faster. That could be a great one. Check your home's value and selling options, no obligation. That could be a great one. I could put get your home value and instant cash offer. Right. So again, there's just a number of different questions. Sometimes the questions might look similar, but we just word them differently. So you can play around and try different options. If you have any questions that you think we should add, send them to me. All right. Just send them to me, scott@listings2leads.com, and we'll consider them. And now again, I can rearrange the order, get your home value. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3? See how my 100, that order is good. I like it. So I'm just going to hit create form. And I'm going to close, just like before, close advanced options and create ad. And it's that easy. I mean, it's that quick. And literally 2 minutes max. And if I don't want to change the questions and just use our defaults, I could be done in 30 seconds. All right. Again, we got the AI text follow-up for that. And we're good to go. All right. All right. I'm going to go to PDF guides. Let's do a PDF guide. And then I'm going to do new construction. And then I'm going to do custom IDX. So for the PDF guide, and Evan, real quickly, let me just talk through on the idea of a just sold where you're not involved. Do something like 23 homes just sold in, Whitney Grove, right? Or whatever like a neighborhood name is in Tampa. So do like 23 homes just sold in Whitney Grove. The average home price was $733,000. The highest home price was $1.4 million. Local home buyers have changed because of this. Click below to find out more, or click below to get your updated home value estimate. That can be a great one as well. So you're kind of using the same language as our just sold ad, but instead of saying 123 Main Street just sold, say something like 23 homes just sold in the area. And it's kind of nice to give a couple of data points because it makes it seem like you're adding, it's more of a informative versus just the straight up home values have changed kind of a thing. Does that make sense? So where you don't have a particular pending or just sold, do it like that. And you could even add a dummy listing to your account, right? So, if you've ever been on some of my webinars, I talk about, and I just did this recently. It looks so good. I took 2 images of homes in the area. I loaded them up into ChatGPT. All right. So, 2 images of homes in the area. And I said, combine these 2 homes so that it looks great and appropriate for the area, so for Folsom, California, right? And it took the 2 photos, it created a unique photo that is of nobody's home. Nobody would recognize it, but everybody would recognize that that's a home in the area, right? I don't like to use stock images. I want to use images that people can relate to. So if you don't have a home that has sold in the past, that could be a great way to kind of work around. Does that make sense? And then I would still do the 23 homes sold, type of language. All right, let's take a look. So, cash, fast cash, right? Kind of the cash offer. What? Fast. Let's just type in fast. There we go. Should you sell your home fast for cash? If we saw and I can toggle between seller and buyers, and right, a downsizing guide for homeowners. So if you're in Florida, right? Nothing. I'm not judging. I'm just saying if you're in Florida, right, or you're in an area, or for whatever reason. Oh my gosh. Why am I keep losing it? You would think I would know how to use this a little bit better. Let me just refresh. I guess it doesn't matter what ad I do. We should just get one done because they're all going to work the same way, except, the buyer guides will have the buyer questions. The seller guides will have the seller questions. And there we go. A downsizing guide for homeowners. So I'm going to click on marketing tools. I'll just mention right here is the e-flyer for your database. This is what I mentioned to Joycelyn, and this is what the blog post was about that I just referenced. These are phenomenal for lead follow-up, right? Buyer lead, seller lead, and you can literally just copy this and drop it right into your CRM. You can just drop it right into your CRM and add it as part of a campaign. And when people click either the link or the image, they will download the guide. I can edit the text if I want to be more in my voice. You can do that as well. But having the structure set up for you, the guides are branded to you. So they'll have your picture, your logo, your colors all over it. It'll look phenomenal. So, but let's talk about the ads because that's what this webinar is about. But it's also about follow-up. So I want to make sure, right, that we're good on all of this. All right, so objective. It'll default to lead ad, but again, I can do traffic or video views. 9 times out of 10, I just like lead ads. Location, because it's not a listing with the city and state, I got to type in location. That's really the biggest difference. Of course, just like before, the text is always editable. The image is always editable. I can upload a video. I can change the image. All right, all of that I can do. You'll see I got retargeting is checked by default. I can do a custom audience, like I mentioned before. And I'm going to click advanced options. All right, just like always. Create new form questions. And like before, name, email, and phone number are going to be turned on. We don't want to lose that. And then I've got what is your time frame to sell is turned on. And would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price is turned on. And again, I can turn them on, turn them off. I'm going to scroll down. And so, here's a question. What is the magic number for your home? If, we've done webinars on the pending and just sold, following the golden buyer or the golden letter strategy, right? Where it's essentially, I just sold 123 Main Street and my marketing got 4,653 views versus Zillow's. And we still have 23 more buyers looking for a home in the area. And if you have a home that is between a 3 and a 4 bedroom, between 2 and 3,000 square feet, would you consider looking at an offer from one of our buyers? And if so, what would your magic number be? And so that's where that question works really, really well. All right. So again, that's why a lot of these questions are so powerful. See how AI can help you sell your home faster for top dollar. That could be a great one. And again, so if I was in more of a high-techy area, right, maybe I add that one, and I can even put that above so you can see how I can drag and drop. Create form. Close advanced options. There's an autoresponder that's different with this one. It's all set up. You don't need to change anything. I can send a test email if I want to see the autoresponder, but create ad. Sandy, I don't really send out the recording, but it is on our YouTube channel. And if you're in the account, I'll also drop it into the mastermind group. So Sandy, if you don't see it, ask in the mastermind group and I'll make sure if it's not there already, I'll make sure to put it there. All right. So let's go last one here, and then we'll do the custom. Oh, that's not what I want. I want landing pages. So we're going to do new construction. Now, Tamara, I apologize. If you watch the new construction video, the whole webinar on new construction, I like to add new construction as a particular property. So whether it's a condo or a single family home, and market it as, like a listing. But I can also do new construction, and you're going to see here, we've got the new construction landing page right here. So I'll click on view, completely editable. Right. So I've edited this, and in that webinar, I walked through how to do all of this. But so I'm going to click marketing tools, Facebook ads. So just like before, right, I can do lead ad, traffic, or video view. I'm going to type in location. All right. And lifetime budget, 70, $10 a day for my buyers. I can change the template, change the image, use a video. I can change the text in there. I can change the color of all of that. But again, 3 questions: advanced options, create new form. And so now, because this is new construction, what I would recommend is, what is your time frame to buy? I mean, that can be good. I'm going to turn off the ultimate guide to buying a home. And I'm going to do, of course, the one about builder incentives. So I'm going to scroll down, and would you like me to send you builder? So you got to do that one, 100%. If the new construction is higher end, I might also leave, do you have a home to sell? If it's lower end or more entry level, I might turn that off, because I know, these are more entry level type homes. And maybe I add in also, now it might be, you might think of it as being a little bit overlap, but would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? Because you're going to get on new construction, people are going to say yes to both of those. They're going to say yes to price reduced, and they're going to say yes to builder incentives. So I'm going to get 2 yeses for sure. And then I'll leave, what is your time frame to buy? And I'm going to move up builder incentives. I want that at the top for my new construction. And again, if I'm marketing a new construction property, as a listing, it's the same 3 questions. And then I'm going to move up price reduced, so that now when people click my ad, the first 3 questions are going to be, would you like me to send you current builder incentives? You're going to get 80%. I have to imagine you're going to get 80% saying yes to that. That's phenomenal, because now I've got to follow up with you. Number 2, would you like me to send you a list of price reduced homes for sale? You're going to get 50%. We'll say yes to that, I bet, if not more. All right. Double my follow up. There might be a few people say yes to one and not the other. And then you got, what is your time frame to buy? Create new form. And then just close out advanced options. Create ad. It's literally that easy. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Watch that webinar. But yes, so for example, you know, when I go to create ad, I can do it on the landing page, but I can also do here. I can say new construction in Lake. I don't know why I'm capitalizing all of it. The Oasis Oaks Reserve. I put the name. The Oasis Oaks Reserve single family homes with pools are coming soon. Click below for builder incentives and available units before they go. I'm just making something up here. All right. And I can just delete all of this. Right. And of course, I can change the image. I can change the text. Right. Change template. So I could come here and I could change the image that's in the background. So maybe that's one of those units at Oasis Oaks. And on here, I put at Oasis Oaks Reserve. And I can change the color. That's a little. Oh, that's pretty. And lastly, I can change the orientation of that image. And again, I can upload something from Canva if I want to. So if I got a beautiful image in Canva and I want to upload it, boom, do it. If I got a video, right? If I got a video where, a great video for something like this would be me at the new construction development and, 10 to 20 seconds. You don't want to be doing a walkthrough video in an ad because you want it as a teaser. I want people to click for more information. So I might be at that development and I might say something like, you kind of start off with, attention home buyers, there's beautiful new construction at Oasis Oaks Reserve with single family homes from 2 to 4 bedrooms and 1,500 square feet to 3,500. Beautiful community accoutrements, right? Wine cellars available and blah, 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 blah. Click below to learn more now, right? And I might also mention, without going into detail, just a kind of a top level of some of the builder incentives, right? There are closing cost credits available, special design studio credits available, right? And click below to learn more. Okay, awesome. All right, shoot, we got 2 minutes, but I think I can do it in 5. And I'm gonna have to go into the mastermind group because I've got. Oh, I don't necessarily want to do that. Let's do this. Let me go SRQ, which is Sarasota. SRQ PR. Nice. Okay, so here we go. And so I'm just showing you how to do it, right? So, most of you can do this at your website. Sometimes you're going to do it on the back end. Sometimes you can do it just like I'm doing it right here. Hopefully this will work. Perfect. So the first thing to consider is we want to make sure that we got a URL that when people click, it goes to where we want it to go to. And it looks like I can even do, 4 to 5 million might be a little bit much, but maybe I want to do 750 to 1 million. That would be a great price point. I would look at whatever it is that's the largest sales for the area. All right. 4 to 5 million might be like beautiful and exciting, but if there's only 2 sales in that price range, why am I going to advertise it? Right. There's not enough turnover. So I want to make sure whatever that niche is that I'm going to be marketing has at least a minimum turnover. All right. So I want to make sure again, having lived in Sarasota, knowing Sarasota, the 750 to 1 million might be a great price point. Of course, 500 to 750 would be probably even more sales, but I'm going to take that domain or the URL. All right. So I'm taking the URL and listings to leads. All right. I'm going to go to ads. And again, this will be, any kind of ad. And I can do similar on Google. So create Facebook ad, create custom. Campaign name, Sarasota downtown condos, whatever it was that I had. I think I did 750 to 1 million. And I might just say IDX. Lead ad. All right. I'm still going to leave it as a lead ad. You could do traffic and just go right to your IDX, right from the ad to the IDX. But I want those questions to be answered. So I'm going to go lead ad and buyer, because they're buyer leads, create ad. Now, let me go to the mastermind group. And if I can't find it here, I know where I can find it. So, God dang it. Hold on. What I'm looking for is I got some really good text that works really well for these kind. Custom. Let me see if I can find it doing this. Hopefully I can. Yeah. All right, give me a second. Let me go into my Google Docs because I think I've got, if not, I'll find it a little bit later and I'll post it into the mastermind group. Yeah, I found it. Perfect. Here we go. I'm going to drop this right into the chat, and you can take this language and just customize it for your area. All right. And I'm going to come back into the ad. All right. So for the primary text, I'm going to drop in that text. I'm going to go back, grab that link, and I'm going to put the link where it says website landing page. Now I can hit fetch. In fact, let's do that. Let me just copy this again, hit fetch. It probably won't return anything. Yeah, it's because for IDX, it normally won't return much, but that's fine. All right, looking for a new home, see homes with. All right, and I might put like a couple of, now since I'm in Sarasota, I might put like the sun. Of course, you're not going to do mountain and desert views. And I don't need, I don't need all of these. In fact, I'm not going to do that. Boom. So I might take out acreage because these are downtown condos. And I might say bay and harbor views. And instead of rooms for animals and RVs, I might put walking distance to shopping and dining. However I spell dining, whatever. You're going to spell it correctly. And, again, I can change with looking for a home with city and bay views, right? So whatever it is going to be appropriate for that niche. And go ahead and drop this into ChatGPT and just say, I want to run a ad for pool homes in Cape Cod, whatever, I don't know, where Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Take this and customize it for that. All right. And let Gemini or ChatGPT help you out. For the image, I'm going to have to get an image. So we'll get to that in a second. Headline, tap to view the list now. And I might just use the hand emoji that's pointing to the learn more. And I might do tap learn more to view the free list now. And description, get listings before Zillow or other buyers. Location, Sarasota. Lifetime budget, $100. It'll go for 1 week. Upload image and or video. So I'll do video. I'll say OCEAN. Now, of course, I'm not going to do ocean waves. One of the things I love to do here is get 5. In fact, let me show you. So for custom IDX, upload image video, I like to get 4 to 5 images of different properties. Typically, you can do this, show other listings. Always ask your broker MLS if you feel you need to. And I like to, this is the only time I like carousel. So if you've ever been on any of my calls before, I don't like carousel 9 times out of 10. For this one, I do, only because I want to be able to show them different options of, in this case, downtown Sarasota condos between $500,000 or 750 and $1 million. Does that make sense? So I don't mind carousel, like for a listing, for a cash offer, for a PDF guide, never. But for IDX, and if you wanted to, for example, in the image, if you want to get a little bit more, into it, I could put, in the image using Canva or something, the price point, right? Like 750,000, 845,000, 950,000, right? So a little bit like that, so they can kind of get a feel for, or the different levels, price levels within that area. All right. And I can rearrange these and all that. And just like before, create new form questions. And now, obviously, for IDX, there are two things that you're going to want to make sure that you do. I would make sure I've got price reduced. It's up to you. And you could see if you qualify for a zero down. That could be a great one, right? Again, depending on the niche and the price point and everything. But I would definitely do this one, because not everybody is going to sign up for a list of home. They're not going to sign up at your website. Even if you did traffic, they're not all going to sign up at your website. But if I do this, right? If I do this, and if it's high end, I might take off. Well, maybe I try 4. I don't know. Because if it's high end, do you have a home to sell? I'm going to get more yeses. If it was lower end, I would get more no's, all right, than average. But what is your time frame to buy? And I might just take that one off. I'm going to take that one off. All right. Because now I'm offering a list of price reduced homes for sale, similar listings, and I'm going to rely on my follow-up to find out what is our time frame. So when I call you up, all right, who was it that said that? Or who asked for this? So it doesn't matter. But when I call the lead up, let's just say it's Evan. So when I call Evan up, Evan clicked on my ad. He said yes to list of price reduced. He said yes to be notified of similar listings. For a ad like this, you're going to get a lot of that. A lot more than half the people probably are going to say yes to at least one, if not both. And then my follow-up is phenomenal, because in my follow-up, what I would do is I would, for the first 2 to 3 days, I would just follow up with them. And it might look something, I'm going to have my ID. I'm going to have my regular CRM where you get listings to leads, follow up. But I got my phone calls, I got my text messages, and I'm just going to find out, like, hey, thank you for requesting a list of homes for sale. Downtown Sarasota condo. There's some really beautiful ones out there right now. And I saw that you like to get a list of price reduced homes. There's a good number of them right now. Is there anything in particular related to this? Like, do you want a building with a pool? Do you want a building that is within a certain distance of, the downtown area, right? Main Street in Sarasota, right? Because Main Street in Sarasota is very popular, or Orange Street. So there's some really nice, beautiful districts in Sarasota. And so I'm going to use that type of language and that type of follow-up to increase the likelihood that we actually connect. All right. Even if it's via text, if it's via email, if it's via phone, whatever it's going to be. And, if I don't get a hold of them maybe after 3 or 4 days, well, then I'll just set them up with a search in my IDX. And then I'll rely on them clicking an email, right? And I see that they clicked and they're looking at homes. And then my follow-up might change to the fact that they're looking at homes. Make sense? And just hit create form and close advanced options. Or I guess here, just right there, but regardless. And again, I can retarget. I got more advanced options. I can activate an autoresponder right from here if I want, or I can do the autoresponder out of my CRM. Boom, bada bing. All right. Anything I missed? Sorry I went long. Please, if you can, I'm going to give that link for the post-webinar survey. It really, 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 really helps me, because I want to make sure that you are getting out of this what you need. All right. I don't do this for my own edification. I do this for you. And if you are not able to execute, if you don't get it, then I need to know that. So the best way, and if you love it, I want to know that too. I want to know all of it. So if you would just take 2 minutes and fill out that form for me, that I would greatly I appreciate it. I look at all the responses. I really take them to heart. And I want to make sure that we're providing the best training for all of you. All right. All right. I love hands-on. Yeah, right. Well, and that's the difference between our webinars and a lot of other vendors where they just kind of talk things through and they don't really do it. I want to make sure that we're doing it and we could even do it together if you got the setup with maybe a couple of monitors and you can watch me on one and do it on the other. But obviously, any questions you can either get with support if it's more technical, or you can get into the mastermind group if you want to show a screenshot of an ad or ask what questions you think should be activated for that ad, follow-up questions. Okay, get to the mastermind group, and let's have a conversation there. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. It's a great honor and privilege to be here with you as always. Have a good one, and don't forget your affiliate links. All right, even this morning somebody signed up, somebody from Florida, I can't remember where, they signed up and they put, because my support team told me, they put like something, they put an agent's name, but they signed up off of Google. So they must have Googled us and then they found us, they signed up. But when they put, how did you hear about us? They put an agent's name. And I'm like, what? So if you're going to tell people about us, make sure you use your affiliate link. It's just right there. Affiliate link, boom, right? There's your link. Share that link. We got in and brokers. You get a free month of whatever if you refer an office, even as an agent. But as a broker, either way, if it's an office or a team, you get the first month's billing. All right, and then if you're a lender, there's if you're or you refer a lender, you can get a referral for that too. So yeah. Anyways, thank you everybody. Awesome. Love you. Talk to you soon. Have a good one.